I checked the 2026 calendar hanging on the wall to see if there was any day you didn't hurt at all. I walked through the garden where the lilies used to grow, but the soil has turned to iron beneath the January snow. I'm wearing the silence like a heavy winter coat, with a sorry and a maybe stuck inside my throat. I look in the mirror, but the reflection isn't me, just a man-shaped shadow of who I used to be. The coffee's getting colder in a cup you used to hold. Everything you touched is turning gray and turning old. I try to fill the silence with the radio on loud, but your memory is a storm front. Your ghost is every cloud. I'm a map with no directions. I'm a compass with no north. Since the day I watched your suitcase go drifting back and forth, you took the architecture and you took the very floor. Now I'm standing on a threshold that doesn't have a door. Now there's just a hollow where the heart used to be. An empty center stage in a tragedy of me. I'm an echo in a canyon. I'm a bell that cannot ring, waiting for the mercy that the winter doesn't bring. You carved out the center and you left the outer shell, and I'm living in the vacuum of a longing cold farewell. Yeah, it's nothing but a hollow where the heart used to be. Oh, yeah. They say that nature hates a vacuum, that the space will fill with time, but the only thing that's growing is the frost and the grime. I'm a vessel that is leaking. I'm a bird without a wing, just a hollowed out reminder of a broken, beautiful thing. Now there's just a hollow where the heart used to be. An empty center stage in a tragedy of me. I'm an echo in a canyon. I'm a bell that cannot ring, waiting for the mercy that the winter doesn't bring. You carved out the center and you left the outer shell, and I'm living in a vacuum of a longing cold farewell. Yeah, it's nothing but a hollow where the heart used to be. Listen to the wind howl through the ribs. Listen to the way the spirit gives. Empty, so empty. Just a hollow, just a hole where you used to go. walk softly on the hardwood floor, afraid I'll wake the silence sleeping by the door. The cold rack is leaning with the weight of your ghost in the corner of the kitchen where I miss you the most. I bought curtains to hide how the garden grew wild, but the sunlight still bleeds through, bitter and mild. I'm living in a floor plan that we drew in the sand, with a set of silver keys shaking in my hand. It's a house made of echoes, a hallway of sighs, where the dust settles down like the look in your eyes. I talk to the ceiling just to hear a sound, but the words hit the rafters and fall to the ground. Every step is a memory, every door is a lie, in this house made of echoes where love went to die. The kettle starts screaming on the cold stove top. I wait for your laughter to make the noise stop, but the tea goes stone cold in a chipped ceramic cup, and the ghosts of our Sundays are all used up. I tried to paint over the marks on the wall where we measured our height, where we stood so tall, but the memories are stubborn, they bleed through the white like a neon sign flickering in the middle of the night. They say home is a feeling, not a roof and a gate, but I'm trapped in the rafters with the timber and slate. If I burn it all down, would the ringing finally end, or is the silence a shadow that I can't unbend? It's a house made of echoes, a hallway of sighs, where the dust settles down like the look in your eyes. Hey, I talk to the ceiling just to hear a sound, but the words hit the rafters and fall to the ground. Oh, every step is a memory, every door is a lie, in this house made of echoes where love went to die. The space where you were, a house made of whispers and a heart made of her. used to be a cathedral, reaching for the light, with stained glass eye that filtered out the night. You were the cornerstone, the steady hand of grace. But now the ivy's growing in the hollow of your face. I memorized the blueprint of the way we used to stand before the silver promise turned to desert in my hand. This is the architecture of a ruined man, built on a fault line, doing the best he can. The roof is leaking memories, the floorboards start to groan. It's hard to call it palace when you're standing here alone. Brick by brick, I watch the ceiling fall. Now there's nothing but the ghost of you written on the wall. The hallway is a canyon where I echo out your name, but even the foundation feels the burden of the shame. You didn't need a wrecking ball to bring the towers down, just a quiet I don't love you as you walked out of this town. Now the windows all shattered and the wind is coming in. I'm a skeletal reminder of the man I might have been. They say that ruins carry beauty, that the history is deep, but they don't see the structural damage that I keep. I'm a monument to almost, I'm a temple of goodbye, just a silhouette of rebar etched against the winter sky. This is the architecture of a ruined man, built on a fault line, doing the best he can. The roof is leaking memories, the floorboards start to groan. It's hard to call it palace when you're standing here alone. Brick by brick, I watch the ceiling fall. Now there's nothing but the ghost of you written on the wall. closet door is sticking in the January damn. I'm reading old inscriptions by the flicker of the lamp. It's 2020 sleeps, but I'm living in the before, when your laughter was the rhythm of the hinges on the door. I reach behind the boxes past the winter coats and bins, to the corner where the shadow of our better life begins. There's a cardboard box with forever on the side, holding all the secrets of a groom and of a bride. I pulled them from the tissue like a surgeon with a ghost, the patent leather shining like the things I miss the most. But the shine is buried under years of standing still, a layer of the silence that I can't seem to kill. I remember how they glided around the floor in Tennessee, when the world was just a circle made of only you and me. Now the souls are stiff and heavy and the laces are frayed, just like every single promise that we went and underpaid. Now there's nothing but dust on the wedding shoes, the uniform of almost and the rhythm of the blues. They were meant for walking forward, meant for dancing through the years, but now they're just a vessel for 1,000 dried up tears. I could try to buff the sorrow, I could try to make them new, but you can't polish memories when the leather's split in two. Yeah, it's a long, lonely walk in a life I didn't choose, with nothing but the dust on the wedding shoes. They say the times are healer, that the stains will eventually fade, but they don't have to live inside the wreckage that we made. I'm standing in the hallway, trying on the path, knowing that the first step was always gonna be the last. How do you move an inch when your feet are made of lead? How do you walk to tomorrow from a yesterday that's dead? There's nothing but dust on the wedding shoes, the uniform of almost and the rhythm of the blues. They were meant for walking forward, meant for dancing through the years, but now they're just a vessel for 1,000. I could try to make them new, but you can't polish memories when the leather's split in two. Yeah, it's a long, lonely walk in the life I didn't choose, with nothing but the dust on the wedding put them back in the box, trying to double life. I just lay here barefoot on the floor. I don't think I'll be dancing anymore. Just the dust, just the shoes, just the I do turn to I lose. The calendar flipped to January 20, take a seat, to a leak in the ceiling that I can't seem to fix. I'm sitting in the kitchen where the shadows like to play, watching the steam from my coffee just drift away. I try to say good morning to the chair across the room, but the words just died inside this quiet tomb. The wallpaper is peeling like the skin upon my soul, leaving nothing but the plaster in a deep dark hole. Your keys are on the counter, though they haven't moved in weeks. Beneath the dust of promises and the secrets that it speaks. I open up the window just to hear the city hum, but I'm waiting for a footstep that I know will never come. I shouted out your name until my throat was raw and red, but the echoes only whispered back the things we never said. Now I'm reading through your letters till the ink begins to blur. A prisoner of the memory of the way we really were. Now it's just four walls and no voice to call my own. The loudest kind of silence that I've ever known. The ceiling is a heavy sky, the floor is sinking fast, in a house built out of maybe that was never meant to last. I'm screaming in the hallway, but the drywall doesn't care. It's just four walls and no voice, and you're not there. The pain is turning gray, the light is growing dim. The cup of my endurance is spilling all the rim. I trade the whole foundation for a single hello, but the house is holding on to what I need to let go. Yeah, it's just four walls and no voice to call my own. The loudest kind of silence that I've ever known. The ceiling is a heavy sky, the floor is sinking fast, in a house built out of maybe that was never meant to last. I'm screaming in the hallway, but the drywall doesn't care. It's just four walls and no voice, and you're not there. Listen to the wood creak, listen to the heartbreak. Not a sound in the hall, just the cracks in the wall. Four walls, no choice. Side resources for 20. The thermostat is screaming at the January air, but it can't touch the 2026 winter living in that chair. I'm watching my breath turn to mist in the hall, right where your shadow used to lean against the wall. I reached out to touch you in a half-awake dream, but the fabric of the us has come apart at the seam. Now there's a numbness creeping, a quiet kind of blue, the physical tax of a life without you. I walk past the lake where the ice is turning black, knowing there's a summer that we're never getting back. They say keep it moving and blood will start to flow, but they haven't seen the garden buried under all the snow. My pulse is a drumbeat in a hollow wooden chest, trying to find a reason to put the grief to rest. But the air is too thin and the sky is too wide, and I've run out of places for a broken man to hide. Oh, and it's frostbite on the soul. It's a deep-seated cold, the bitter end of a story that we never got to hold. I'm turning into crystal, I'm shivering in place, trying to find the warmth of your long-forgotten face. You can't thaw a heart when the fire's gone out, and you're left with the winter and a ghost of a doubt. Yeah, the mercury is falling and I'm losing control to the frostbite on my soul. They warn me about the wind, and they warn me about the rain, but nobody warned me about the freezing of the pain. It doesn't even hurt now, it just feels like lead, the weight of the forever that we went and left for dead. I'm a statue in the garden, I'm a man made of stone, learning how to be this frozen and alone. Frostbite on the soul, it's a deep-seated cold, the bitter end of a story that we never got to hold. I'm turning into crystal, I'm shivering in place, trying to find the warmth of your long-forgotten face. You can't thaw a heart when the fire's gone out, and you're left with the winter and the ghost of a doubt. Yeah, the mercury is falling and I'm losing control to the frostbite on my soul. Don't wake me up, the ice is too thick, the clock on the wall, just a slow frozen tick. I'm so cold, I'm so cold, just leave me in the snow. I checked the 2026 calendar, hanging on the vent, marking all the places where happy moments went. It's January 4th and frost is on the glass, watching all the people in the neighborhood pass. I reached for my keys, but I pulled back my head. I'm a stranger to the life that I carefully planned. I used to walk tall with the wind in my back. Now I'm moving like a ghost on a frozen track. The kitchen is a museum of the things you used to like. Your helmet's in the corner by your old mountain bike. The silence is an empty noise filled up with lead. It's the weight of the blankets on your side of the bed. I try to stand up, but the gravity's wrong. I've been carrying this lonesome for way too long. I'm shivering in the sunlight, I'm freezing in the heat, dragging my shadow down a dead-end street. And grief is a heavy coat that I can't take off. It's the rattle in my chest and the winter in my cough. It's a fabric made of never and a lining made of wire. 1,000 pounds of denim stitched against a gray sky. I'm buttoned to the chin, but I'm shaking inside, with nowhere left to run and nowhere left to hide. Yeah, it's a heavy coat, and it's dragging on the floor, since you don't live behind this heart anymore. They say that I'll grow into the size of the pain, that I'll learn how to walk through the 2020 seas chain. But the wool is getting soaked and the collar is tight. I'm losing my breath in the middle of the night. It doesn't keep me warm, it just keeps me down. The best dressed broken man in this whole damn town. Yeah, grief is a heavy coat that I can't take off. It's the rattle in my chest and the winter in my cough. It's a fabric made of never and a lining made of wire. 1,000 pounds of denim stitched against a gray sky. I'm buttoned to the chin, but I'm shaking inside, with nowhere left to run and nowhere left to hide. Yeah, it's a heavy coat, and it's dragging on the floor, since you don't live behind this heart anymore. So heavy, the sleeves are too long. So heavy, the buttons are gone. I'm just walking, I'm just trying to breathe in this heavy coat, in this heavy coat. The calendar pages of 2026, January blur, tracing the edges of the person you were. I've been sitting in the kitchen till the light turns gray, sweeping up the minutes of another hollow day. The air in this house has grown thin and so cold, like a story that ended before it was told. I try to find a rhythm, I try to find the flow, but I'm just a shadow leaning on a locked up door. I went to the market to buy groceries for one, but I stood in the aisle till the morning was done. I saw your favorite branded, and I reached for the shelf. Then I had to remember to be by myself. The silence is a hammer, the quiet is a scream. I'm waking up to realize I'm living in the dream, where the hero goes missing and the sky turns to lead, and I'm left with the echoes of the things we never said. I'm grief-stricken and inconsolable, a heart that's gone wild and uncontainable. I'm a shipwrecked soul on a dry land shore, crying for a touch that isn't there anymore. There's no medicine for this, no magic in the time, just a mountain of sorry that I'll never quite climb. Yeah, I'm broken past the point of being fixable, grief-stricken and inconsolable. They tell me to breathe, they tell me to pray, but the gods all went quiet when you walked away. It's a physical weight, it's a bruise on the bone, the terrifying science of being alone. I'm a house with no windows, a bird with no song, just wondering how the ride went so terribly wrong. I'm grief-stricken and inconsolable, a heart that's gone wild and uncontainable. I'm a shipwrecked soul on a dry land shore, crying for a touch that isn't there anymore. There's no medicine for this, no magic in the time, just a mountain of sorry that I'll never quite climb. Yeah, I'm broken past the point of being fixable, grief-stricken and inconsolable, inconsolable, inconsolable. The tears are just rain on a stone, inconsolable. And 2020 seems it's too long to be alone. Just let me stay here in the dark, in the grief. Suggested artist resource for 2026. The 2026 winter is creeping through the stars, turning every fire we built into a pile of ash. I'm standing in the kitchen where the yellow light is dim, the glass on the table is filled up to the brim. I put on my guards, I tuck in my chin, waiting for the ghosts of us to come rushing in. I'm throwing out a hook at the space where you stood, trying to be strong like I promised I would. I'm ducking from the phantom of your January smile. It hasn't been a minute, but it feels like a mile. The silence throws a punch that I didn't see coming. I can hear the rhythm of your departure still drumming. I'm swinging at the scent of your perfume in the hall, but I'm just hitting plaster, I'm just hitting the wall. The referee is time and he's counting to 10, while I'm begging for the round to start over again. And I'm just shadow boxing with memories tonight, in the middle of a ring under a flickering light. I'm fighting a ghost that I can't even see, the version of you that's still living in me. Every jab is a why, every cross is a please, until I'm back on the floor, down on my knees. Yeah, it's a losing battle, but I'm holding my ground. Shadow boxing with memories for one more round. There's no blood on a I'm taking the hits, every bit of it. 1, 2, I miss you. 1, 2, I'm through, just a shadow in the ring alone. Resources for you. Program the coordinates for home into the screen, but the satellites don't recognize the places where we've been. The map is showing empty space where your garden used to grow. Just a 2020 seats when a pole's buried in the snow. I'm driving down the interstate with no one in the seat, while the rhythm of the highway lines keeps time with my defeat. The voice on the recording says to turn around and sing, but there's no U-turn wide enough to find your saving grace. The dashboard lights are glowing like a ghost inside the dark, searching for a signal or a faint and flickering spark. I passed the diner where we danced in the neon blue and gold, but the windows are all boarded up and the coffee's bitter cold. I'm checking every exit, but they all look just the same. 1,000 different gravel roads that lead back to your name. I've got a tank of high-test grief and a heavy laden foot, burning up the miles just to stay exactly put. It's navigation and nowhere, a journey with no end, chasing after taillights just around the final bend. The GPS is silent now, it's lost the trail too. There's no arriving in a world that doesn't carry you. I'm a pilot in a whiteout, I'm a sailor on a stone, on a navigation of nowhere, headed there alone. Recalculating the time we threw away, recalculating the things I didn't say. The signal's dropping out, the screen is fading fast. I'm trying to drive into the future with my eyes fixed on the past. Navigation and nowhere, a journey with no end, chasing after taillights just around the final bend. The GPS is silent now, it's lost the trail too. There's no arriving in a world that doesn't carry you. I'm a pilot in a whiteout, I'm a sailor on a stone, on a navigation of nowhere, headed there alone, out of range, searching for connection. Make a legal U-turn, but I've lost my sense of direction. Just driving